Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and today I'm going to be reviewing the very first episode of Loki. And this is a no spoilers review. I really enjoyed this episode. It is a really good start to the show. You know, it's definitely a little bit more of an introduction, so it's a little slower paced in parts, which I really liked. It allows some really good moments with Loki, which I liked. There's also a lot of good MCU teasers and Easter eggs spread throughout this, which were really fun to watch. Oh, what I will say is, I really enjoyed the set design of the Time Variant Authority. It was really, had a really good aesthetic to it. And I really liked it, kind of had that kind of feel to it. It just was really kind of creepy at times, but definitely unique. It had a really different design. I really liked it. And there was a really interesting animated moment that I had a blast watching. And it's also interesting, time being ran by bureaucrats. That just is not scary at all. Tom Hiddleston is fantastic in this episode, and Owen Wilson is an amazing, he gets a really good introduction in this episode, and they have a really good dynamic already between the two. And it'll be very interesting to see the central plot that is revealed at the end of this episode and how it plays out through the course of the next 5 episodes, and I'm really curious to see how this goes. Now, this episode picks up right after the events of Endgame, where, you know, that Loki picked up the Tesseract and he hopped out. It picks up pretty much right after that, and we get to see how he kind of broke the central rule of time by creating this alternate path. I would definitely recommend, if you have not watched Loki, watch it. It's really good. You know, it definitely, you know, it's more of an introduction episode. You know, we're learning about the TVA a lot more, kind of how their policies are, and there's a characters we meet in this first episode, enjoyable to watch. One of my favorite scenes in this episode, which kind of can be a spoiler, but it was in the trailer, so I am going to talk about it. It wasn't in the trailer, and I really had a blast, and I laughed a lot at the scene, was with Loki, you know, having to sign everything he's ever said. That was a great scene. I really enjoyed it. Loki episode 1 was pretty decent. You know, it definitely had some really good moments to it. I really liked how, you know, introduced this whole new agency basically in the MCU, the TVA. You know, these bureaucratic timekeepers. It'll be interesting to see how they work with Loki, stopping that threat we're introduced at the end of this episode. And I'm excited to watch the next 5 episodes. And I will say this is probably my favorite debut of a Marvel Cinematic Universe TV show. They did a really good job with it, and I'm hoping they can keep this momentum going for the next 5 episodes. So if you've seen Loki episode 1, tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.